Alright, what's good everyone? So, yesterday I just wrapped up the Grandmaster's Gauntlet, and I just wanted to make this video because I saw one person who asked me, they wanted to know how my path went, and just to say, it went okay. It was about as good as like Brian Grant's run. I spent about 14 revives and 20 to 25 singular revives. What helped me was MSD's Suida and Munash's run. They Suida and MSD, they did it in 0 revives. Munash did it in 1. Me, I'm not as good at them, so because I made a lot of mistakes and I was just fucking around. But anyway, onto the video. This is my team on the left, as you can see. I brought this. I did not bring a 4-star Quake. This my 5-star Quake is in AQ right now. But I used my 5-star Quake, Professor X, Mortal Hulk, a 4-star Apocalypse. I did bring a 4-star Apocalypse, and then a 5-star, my rank 5 Cable. First fight with Dr. Doom, it was a easy solo with Immortal Hulk. If Doom was like on like path 2 or 3 or 4, it might have been a lot harder, but since I could repeat as many times, even if I failed, he was a pretty easy fight. Easy solo with Immortal Hulk. Terrax, easy solo with Quake. I really didn't want to bring Quake, so I was trying to find like some other options. During my initial completion, I was actually using a 4-star Sig 99 Namor. I got him to like 53% off, and then 53% health left, and then I just finished him off with Quake. But I really did not want to use Quake, but with boost it did help a bit. So easy solo with Quake. This regular vision, it was also easy solo with Quake. I watched Suida's run with it, and when he throws a special on you, since you put in concussions, I'm not sure why, but you're not taking any damage even if he throws a special on you, if he lands a special on you. Next fight is MODOK. I try to use my 4-star Apocalypse. I think it is theoretically possible to solo him, but I had a video on it where I was using a Cable who managed to finish him off. I think it is possible to, I think I said it already, I think Apocalypse is possible to, a 4-star Apocalypse is able to solo this guy, but with Cable it could have been a way easier solo, and I could have saved my Apocalypse's death. Or how do I say that? I can't fucking talk today. But I was able to get the Horseman, the 4 charges on him, so it was okay, not that bad. Professor X was able to solo this next fight, which was Spider Pig. During my initial completion, I was using a Ghost, and what I did was I was pushing him to his SP2, and that was a huge mistake since he could go unblockable and then just throw that on you. But Professor X, I watched again. Sweetest really helped me. You just wait after his final hit, dex the final hit of his SP2, and then punch that with a heavy, and you just constantly bait SP1s. It's a really boring fight, but got the solo. It took a long time. It's not really the most fun fight. But yeah, for the first path, 0 revives, no items yet. Next fight we have Weapon X. I did not, because Spider Pig was able to put debuffs on my Professor X, and I was able to heal up their willpower, so I didn't need to heal up. This one, for this fight, Weapon X, is just a typical Weapon X. You don't have to, you just need to know, he has no special no, so all you need to do is know how to fight him. Professor X, I used Professor X and got the solo on him. Again, Suida and MSD's run were really helpful. I think Munash did that too, unless he used Quake, which you can also solo with her. The next fight, I was trying to use Cable on Thing. He worked decently. I got him down to like 30%, but his block damage, the block damage in the Gauntlet is pretty damn high. It's like, I think it's about 18k or something, which was like 1k on block whenever I parried. So I died trying to do something fancy. I was trying to punish his SP1, but he got me. Certainly possible to solo him with Cable, but I ended up finishing him off with Quake. Also an easy solo if you have Quake. Again, Quake is the huge MVP for this. Again, another fight. And yeah, okay, for Thing, this is where I started messing up my paths. or my run. Next fight was Korg. It is a mixed master Korg with flux dispersal. Pretty nasty no combinations. I honestly think this one's actually harder than the one in Abyss. I'm no joke. The one in Abyss took 1 revive. This one took about 3. I was using Quake, but he threw a really weird combo. He did like a medium light pause, medium, and that really threw me off and he killed my Quake. So then I just used Professor X, but I kept forgetting about Mixed Master, and that kept messing me up. So not very proud of this fight, but it was about 3 revives. What I should have done was revive Quake and then just finish him off. Since for the next fight, I was trying to use Professor X since I saw MSD doing it. But he had a 200% power booster, so he was able to get like a shit ton of SP2s off. But it was really difficult for me since his block damage again was killing me. I think it's because of the aspect of evolution node, and also there were times where he would just not throw his SP2 and just throw his SP3, and I would die. But Quake can apparently shut him down. I should have used Quake. I ended up using Quake anyway to finish him off. I think on Munash's run he used Quake and soloed him. Okay, and then next fight we got this Footloose Arc Overload Black Panther. I tried to use Immortal Hulk to get some action on him, but he was not really working that well since I had to wait out 7 seconds for the Unstoppable, and he would just heal back the damage I would do. And I ended up just quitting out of this fight and finishing him off with Quake. It could have been an easy solo with Quake. Had I all of these fights here, the entire first 2 pass can't be done with Quake, but she's extremely boring to play, but she is good. Next up, Nightcrawler. Again, another Quake fight, but I was trying to use Cable here, but yet again, the block damage was a little too crazy. I tried to do something fancy with punishing his SP2 with my heavy, but I got him down to like 20%. But yeah, he clipped me with the final SP2 since I was being dumb and trying fancy shit, and it didn't really work out for me. Lost my Cable, but I finished him off with Professor X. Could have been an easy solo with Professor X or Quake. Next fight, this is the first fight you cannot Quake because of one eye open and stun reflect. This was actually I was able to solo Spider-Gwen with my Professor X. Next fight, I revived Cable, which I shouldn't have done. I just wanted to see how well he could do in this fight. He's not that good for this fight. Maybe if you're better than me, possibly, but with those degens, but she does have Limber, so I was just trying to punish her heavies with my own heavy, and I finally got clipped and I died to that. What I should have done was use Professor X, since I did eventually finish her off. It was pretty decent fight, since all you need to know is just know how to fight Domino. She does have Matador and Power Shield, but due to Power Shield, it makes it a pretty quick and easy fight with Professor X. Next fight, Mojo, and oh my god, this was horrible for me, and I made a huge mistake. I yet again revived Cable because I was so stubborn and wanted to use him out. I actually took him from rank 1 all the way to rank 5 just for this, and I just wanted to try how well he does in this fight, but that was a mistake. I took off like 20%, but this was a mistake since it gave him his persistent charges, which when I started using Quake, he was able to gain power, and I was unable to shut him down. He would just gain a special and then just kill me when I was using my Quake. So I ended up starting to use Team Revives, and this was just an awful fight for me. What I should have done was start off with Quake and attempt to solo this guy. I think Suida and also Munashi finished. I think they solo Mojo with Quake. Next fight, Immortal Abomination. This is the reason why I brought Immortal Hulk, and I was so proud of this fight. I so regret not recording this fight. Immortal Hulk got a solo in this fight. That's right, you heard it. He soloed this fight. I just had to play slow and watch out for his specials. He does have he has Under Pressure, which is the only thing you need to watch out for. But for me, it wasn't. I didn't even mind. I just started dashing back whenever he was throwing his specials. I managed to get a solo. I forgot how many hits it took. I think it's around 200 something. I took a screenshot of it of it, so you probably see it on the screen right now. I just remember I took like 15 hits. It wasn't like a clean solo, but still got the fight down and managed to solo him. Next fight is Apocalypse. Now in this fight, it's definitely possible to solo him with Immortal Hulk. Definitely possible to solo him with your Professor X. You just need to be good at dexing his specials. If you can do that, this fight is definitely possible to solo him. I'm not very good at dexing his SP1. His SP2 I'm a little better at, but a couple times I still messed it up. It's very similar to the Doom fight, where I don't know if you saw my video where so for Doom I think his SP2 is way easier to dex than his SP1, and also because I don't like him proccing his aura, and that can also put a shock on me, and that does damage. So if you can dex Dr. Doom's SP2, easy fight with I-Hulk. If you can dex this guy's specials, easy. Not easy, but it's a pretty skillful fight. You need to be skilled. In the next fight, Life Cycle Sasquatch. This is a fight a lot of people are pretty scared of, I myself included. I tried using Immortal Hulk here too. He didn't work too well as I wanted him to, but then when I used Professor X, he immediately destroyed this guy due to how much damage he can do, and also since he can throw so many specials, you can just like destroy his shield once you knock him down with a special, and then throw another special and just finish him off relatively easily. It's not that easy since you do have to watch out for a power snack. So you do have to be aware of his power and regular Sasquatch abilities. And yeah. Next fight, this is actually a very interesting fight. I did not think it would go as well as I did it, but it was actually a solo with Cable. I really wish I recorded this fight, but I soloed him in about 28 hits. This is sort of a sketchy fight since when you block, he has this node called Sharpened Claw, so whenever you block, he places bleeds all over you. Whenever I blocked, he would place like 22 bleeds on me, but since this is Cable, he does put degens on you for every bleed you put on him, or because of the Apocalypse energy, so I was able to put 22 degens on him if he were to put 22 bleeds on me. But because of this would push him all the way to very close to an SP3, so you do have to bait a lot of SP2s and be aware of his power. Yeah, but this was actually a very cheesable solo, but you have to be very aware of his power, and you have to be pretty decent at dexing his SP2 on the wall. What I didn't dex the full thing. I block a few portions of it, but yeah, it was a solo with Cable. Void is probably another really, really bad fight. It's probably one of the worst fights in the Gauntlet. What Sweden and MSD did, they used their Professor X's with a 200% boost, and what they did was they got all the way to an SP3 and then just start spamming that. But for me, I made a mistake. I think I know what I did. I was paying too close attention to my hit counter. You know, whenever you have 10 hits in your combo, you're able to purify a debuff from him. I should have probably not cared about that much because I ended up dying before I could even reach an SP3. My main focus should have been get to an SP3 and start spamming that shit. Since his SP3 has multiple hits, he could easily get off 10 hits and probably purify debuffs, and you could probably cheese this fight with Professor X. It's pretty cheesy. And also there's Power Shield, which makes Professor X an even bigger monster, and he can actually take benefit of that 200% boost if you have one. So if you're using Professor X, I highly recommend having at least a 200% or 150 boost, mutant boost, you know. Next fight, I had Cable. He's still alive from this fight, and it was actually a solo for Nick Fury. He has Lionheart, but it wasn't that big of a deal since I have Max Despair, and since due to the amount of degens I can put on him, I was able to heal reverse him a bit. Pretty easy. It was actually a pretty easy fight for me. It was just a standard Nick fight. If you know how to fight Nick by just like blocking and parrying to make him prevent him from throwing his SP1, it's a pretty standard Nick fight. And then finally in this fight, Professor X is really good for him. I managed to get him all the way down to his final phase where you have to intercept and to get him the safeguard buff and his SP3 phase basically. But I had such bad AI RNG in this fight where he would just not want to play into my intercepts and was just really passive. And a lot of time he would just turtle up and gain his SP3 and kill me. I spent a lot of revives at the very final phase, and I was really sad about it. But after that, I finally got him down, and I finished the Gauntlet. I hope I can't talk. I hope this helped anyone who's still trying to do the Gauntlet. This is it for the video. Please leave a like and a sub, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.
I'm thinking now to say a million different ways. I'm thinking now to say let's get up out this place. I promise I won't bite my tongue.